Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Again, I want to thank everyone out there for all of your support on the channel. If you guys do like the content, if you guys do like the video series, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you are a subscriber, make sure to hit that bell button to get alerts and updates on all new content posted on the channel. For today's video, I want to jump in to detail a trade, a rather large trade I made today with AT&T. The idea behind this trade will be a swing trade as well as covered call strategy. If you guys are not familiar with covered calls, please take a look at my video from yesterday. Went into great detail on exactly what a covered call is and how you can make extra income from stocks that you hold in your portfolio. So please take a look at that. But overall, very large trade today, very risky trade, but again, a swing trade, covered call strategy that hopefully will have a few returns over the next few weeks or so. Overall, the market has been doing very well. The portfolio today very well as well. 1.65% in the green, 25.10.53. A little bit extra in after hours trading as well, 148.20, bringing the portfolio almost up to $155,000. As you guys may or may not know, there's been a lot of volatility in the market recently. It is earnings season. A lot of companies, a lot of influential companies are reporting earnings. And because of that, the market has been moving quite dramatically. In the portfolio, you can see a lot of green today. Of note, the second largest pharmaceutical holding, AbbVie, up 6.34%. The largest holding, Portola PTLA, up 2.73%. As I continue scrolling down here, you can see quite a few stocks in the green, including the largest holding in the portfolio, Ford Motor Company, up 2.78% today, 2.79% today. At one point, up I think over 3%, yeah, 3.4, 3.5% or so. Ford recently did announce as part of its cost-cutting measures, it's cutting all but 2 of its small cars within the United States, instead focusing on SUVs and large trucks, which have higher margins. So it looks like investors were very positive to that news. Again, up 2.79% overall today. In comparison to GM, one of its largest rivals within the United States, at one point I think GM was actually the opposite, down over 3% before pulling back here before market close. So a lot of green in the portfolio. If we continue scrolling down here, you can see technology. The NASDAQ did very well today, and individual companies within the NASDAQ, AMD up 15.04%, Intel, INTC up 8.91%, and Microsoft, MSFT up 4.43%. So a very good day overall. Now let's take a look at AT&T, one of the only stocks here in the red, and in the red by quite a large margin. AT&T did have earnings today. It announced earnings. Unfortunately, it missed earnings on revenue as well. So it missed earnings and revenue. And because of that, the stock did trend down quite dramatically today. And I thought a little bit too dramatic. At one point down almost 8%. Here you can see 6.6 or 7.64%. So because of this, I went ahead and jumped in to buy the dip again for a swing trade, captured called strategy. If we take a look at the trade here, you can see I jumped in, limit buy, April 26, 427.50. Went ahead and picked up 500 shares. Again, I picked 500 shares so I could do covered calls. I can do 5 covered calls. Each contract for a covered call is 100 shares, so I can do 5 options call. If we take a look at earnings, so like I said, AT&T had earnings today. It missed on earnings and revenue. As you can see here, the expected earnings per share, 87 cents. It missed by 2 cents there. Actual earnings per share, 85 cents. And overall revenue, expected revenue was $39.31 billion. AT&T today came in at $38.04 billion, so about a 3% loss on revenue, but it was up 15% on earnings. As you can see, Q4 2017, earnings there were below 0.80. So I think this company has a lot of room to grow upward. It's been doing a lot of recent acquisitions. 2015, it bought DirecTV. It's also been currently trying to buy Time Warner, TWX. Unfortunately, the Department of Justice is trying to block that trade, as AT&T is one of the largest telecom conglomerates in the world. It's the largest multi-channel video subscriber provider in the United States, has over 26 million subscribers. So because of that, I think because of antitrust concerns, the Department of Justice is trying to block that. But if that trade does go through, I do believe AT&T will respond quite positively. It's also got a great dividend yield as well, 5.067%. I think this is a very very safe dividend moving forward. A great PE ratio as well, 6.952. A very large company, as I said. You can see the market cap here, $216.118 billion. And if we take a look at the graph here, you can see over the last 5 years here that AT&T has been doing quite well. If we take a look at this graph here, you can see it's been dipping down a bit over the past 5 years, down around 32.50 or so, 33.50, but really hasn't gotten below that point because of the large pullback today, getting down to, again, just under 32.50, I believe. 32.51 here on the graph. Thought this would be a very good entry point getting into AT&T. Again, I like this stock as a longer-term buy and hold stock. I think this will be a great stock. It has a lot of volume, as we can see here in the middle. 55 million volume today, 28 million average volume. It's very good for swing trading as well as doing covered calls, which I'll be doing moving forward. So the stock, bought it because it's a great swing trade stock. It's a stock I can do covered calls with, and it's a stock that if I can't get out of this swing trade, I'm more than happy to hold this longer term with that great dividend yield. So that is why I jumped into AT&T. Again, for full transparency, went over the trade with you guys, 500 shares. Again, the rationale behind 500 is to keep that even at 100 shares, or at least 100 share blocks, so I can do covered calls, 5 covered calls, 100 shares for each call moving forward. So we'll kind of see how this turns out. I made some money for today. I was almost going to jump out of the stock and then try to jump back in tomorrow. But I do believe this will start trending back up over the next few weeks to months as more investors really realize the value behind AT&T. And I think this will also trend up quite nicely if that merger, or at least the acquisition of Time Warner TWX, does happen. I think this stock will be a $40+ stock moving forward. And even really over the last 3 months here, you can see at one point the stock was almost up over $39. I think at one point it got up to $39.10. The resolution on this graph, you can't see that, but I think it's a great stock moving forward. I'm going to be doing, like I said, the swing trade covered call strategy moving forward with a lot of my swing trades, and I think AT&T is the... So that's what I did today. Please let me know what you guys did with your portfolios, and how are you guys doing trading with earnings? There's a lot of investors, a lot of viewers on the channel that do trading around earnings reports. It's very, very risky. But as you guys know, risk equals rewards. Jumping into a stock before earnings, stock can move either way depending on how it does with earnings. As I detailed on a prior video with Ford Motor Company, jumped into a swing trade before earnings. Ford beat earnings, beat revenue, but the stock trended down almost 2%. So you can't always necessarily guarantee a stock will trend in a particular direction with earnings, but there is definitely a lot of movement around earnings. A lot of money can be made or lost, a lot of risk around earnings. And again, where there is risk, there is reward. So it's always a good time to do swing trading. That's what I'm going to be doing with AT&T here moving forward. But not to make the video too long, I'll kind of end it here. Again, let me know what you guys are doing with earnings. Are you guys trading any stocks? If you are, which stocks are you trading? Like I said, I did AT&T here. There are a few others on my radar that I'll detail in another video. But I think this is a very good time to start making some moves with swing trades, dividend capture, as well as covered calls. So again, not to make the video too long, I guess I'll end it here. Again, if you guys have questions about this video, other videos, please let me know in the comment threads down below. And until next video, we'll see you then.